Hi guys! I am making tonight some creamy vegan Alfredo with cashews. I know, you're probably saying that's totally weird. This plant-based thing is so weird, but it's actually really awesome. So these are my ingredients. I've got cashews that have been already soaked in water. This is about 1.25 cups of cashews soaked in about a cup or so of water. I'll put the recipe up for you. A couple tablespoons of olive oil, a couple tablespoons of nutritional yeast. Here I've got garlic powder, onion powder, and salt, 1/4 teaspoon of each. 1/4 cup of almond milk. And then for garnish for my pasta, I've got some fresh chopped parsley. And I also have some freshly made cashew parmesan. This is really easy to make too. So I'm using this Jovial brand pasta. It's actually out of North Stonington, so I love supporting local, and it's the best gluten-free pasta that I've found. It's made with brown rice flour and water, period, end of story. And I just finished cooking that because I don't want you guys to wait for me to cook stuff and boil water and all that business. But we're also roasting Brussels sprouts tonight, so I have those already going in the oven. And they are just about finished. I've had them roasting for a little over 25 minutes. You can hear the crisp in the actual leaves that have separated. They get nice and crunchy. These are just drizzled with olive oil and a little bit of garlic salt. Super easy, 425 flat sheet pan. I'm gonna take those out, turn my oven off, and we're good to go. So, you won't believe how easy this recipe is because all of these ingredients, except for the garnish, are going inside my Vitamix. Olive oil, nutritional yeast, garlic powder, onion powder, salt, 1/4 cup of almond milk. You could use any kind of plant-based milk, just make sure it's unsweetened. That's really important. You don't want to add sweetness to your sauce. I'm gonna put this on. It's gonna get loud for a second. So you guys can see how nice and creamy that sauce is. It is super thick, just like nice thick Alfredo. I'm gonna give it a taste. Perfection. It is so simple. Can't even stand it. I'm gonna bring over, actually I'll leave this here. I'm gonna bring over my pasta. I cook this just per package directions, 12 minutes. It leaves it nice and al dente. They have lots of different styles of pasta. They've got the spirals, they've got penne. I used the lasagna noodles in my lasagna roll-ups a couple of weeks ago. You can find the recipe on the Vegan Potter for those. And I'm just gonna pour this sauce in. And you can see how nice and creamy and rich and thick it is. Give this a toss. Now you can always make this sauce a couple days ahead. Cashew cream sauce will sit in the fridge without a problem, but it may thicken up a little bit, so you may have to add a touch more almond milk and throw it back in the blender before you want to serve it. Now if your pasta is not already hot, then you definitely want to heat your cream sauce in a small saucepan on the stove over low heat just until it's warm. But my pasta is super hot because I just strained it. So I'm not going to worry too much. Now, if you're put off by the color, which is just a creamy sort of white sauce color like Alfredo, you can always add a touch of turmeric, just a touch, to that spice blend. And then it will give this just a light blush of yellow. And we'll plate some up. Super creamy. Get get some of our Brussels sprouts going. And again, these are just coated with a light drizzle of oil and a little bit of garlic salt. Nothing fancy. And then to top it all off, just a touch of cashew parm. All this cashew parm is raw cashews, unsoaked, a little bit of nutritional yeast, a touch of turmeric, garlic powder, onion powder, a little bit of salt, and you just gotta kind of keep tasting it. But it's really delicious. And this just keeps in a container on the counter. It doesn't have to be refrigerated. I made that about a week ago. Top it off with a little bit of parsley. And there you have it. Vegan pasta with creamy Alfredo and roasted Brussels sprouts. Delish. If you make this, make sure to comment. You can visit theveganpotter.com. I'll be sure to post the recipe. You can also find the recipe on theveganpotter.com. It was published in a magazine a couple of years ago, and I've got a link to that on the page called Noteworthy. So check it out, guys. Have a great night.